about comedy, concerts, and beer. Pilsners, lagers, and IPAs. Liquid courage just to take the stage. Backstage pass, got you feeling right. And everyone's welcome like an open mic. Getting drunk, waiting for the last man to fall. When it's time to take a shot, we yell cannonball. Jokes got you smiling from ear to ear. Our beverage of choice is beer, man, beer. Get back and relax while the beer foam settles. Now here's your hosts, Johnny Benson and Keg Kettles.
It's Beer Man Beer, the podcast streaming in your ear about comedy, concerts, and beer. Follow us on Instagram at BeerManPod. Give us a 5-star review on iTunes and let us know if you love us or hate us. I'm Johnny Benson, and 3 feet away from me is the legendary epic man, Keg Kettles.
Howdy.
How you doing, Keg Kettles?
I'm doing good with this beer.
You got a delicious beer that we're ready to rip into.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, let's bring in our guest. Our guest he's been here before. He is very legendary. I feel one of the most underrated broadcasters in Connecticut history right here. He is definitely stand-up comedian, very, very legendary podcast host himself, has interviewed many, many celebrities, but he's most famous for his old public access show where he got in trouble for showing 3 seconds of porn. Give it up for Jim Sharky.
Wow, that is an introduction. My butt cheeks got warm out over that introduction.
As they should.
Hey, thank you real quick to you and Keg for hosting me. And I got to tell you, and I haven't been on since like 4 years ago, and Keg right out of the gate made me feel really warm yesterday when I got a message that said, hey, Jim, can you try and keep it under an hour? we try not to do an hour.
Dude, we stopped texting because Jim, he was like sending me books. And I'm like, I don't want to read all this stuff. So anyway, I'm like, all right. The cherry on top was, oh, by the way, we want to keep it under an hour.
Keep it under an hour. Let's see.
And he goes, okay, I'll tighten it up.
Can we do it? We will see. I got your theme song in the background.
You think we could?
Yeah, it's worth a try. It's worth a try. I know Jim is going to come in hot.
I've got some notes. I have some things I need to get through. I'm going to try not to rush now because I do feel like I kind of need to.
Yeah, you're also. Did you have a little booger sugar before you came in? You sound like an auctioneer.
You know, it's funny you say that because
you won't stop moving
in the Connecticut comedy scene, and I forget what the context was, but somebody like dismissively referred to me as like some old coked out comic.
Well, they might be onto something.
And I said, listen,
are they wrong?
Listen, I'm not that old.
Oh man, so dope. What do you got over there to drink, Keg Kettles? Jim, you haven't been drinking, right?
I decided to give my liver and kidneys a much needed time off, so I have not drank since January 1st, but I did say earlier to you guys, like, I'm going to sample the beer. I mean, showing up as a guest on this show and not sampling, I mean, it's almost like stolen valor of beer.
Yeah, a little tasty. That ain't going to hurt you, right?
You didn't jump on a dry January thing, did you?
No. And had I known that, I probably would have drank throughout because that's just so fucking cringy.
Man, we're going to have an extra damp February coming up, man. Extra damp.
Extra damp, huh?
That's it, man. We're going to be doing some drinking.
Okay.
All right.
I'm
in. What are we having? Anything? What do we got? Let me get this can. I'm going to pour a little bit. Oh, it's empty. Well,
while you've been dancing over there, I've been drinking. So.
Wait, man, sometimes you got to dance before a show. What do you want, man? I don't know. Crack this one.
So crack that one, make sure it doesn't explode. Because actually, the stuff that we drank last week, I went to crack it open, and it exploded all over my kitchen. I mean, it really exploded all over my kitchen. I don't know what was in it, but, dude, it like...
That was that Ozzy Osbourne beer?
Absolutely. All over my ceiling and everything. I was like, what the hell happened here?
And so, Johnny, as a general rule, you prefer to take it in the can?
No. I would say that's fake news.
I was inspired by Bree's appearance last week. There were so many sexual double entendres. I figured I better show up with a couple.
Yeah, that's how Breezy rolls. All right.
This isn't the pickle bear, is it, by the way?
No, we didn't like the pickle beer.
No, why do I got to bring that up again? Because that beer wasn't good. It was okay. It didn't give us. It didn't hit us well.
Yeah, if you said it was a beer that didn't have a pickle flavor, we would have been okay with it.
It would have been fine.
We wanted pickle. Yeah.
Wanted a pickle.
So what are we tasting?
This is from a local brewery called New Salem. Are you familiar with Fairfield Hills?
Absolutely. Fairfield Hills, I used to ride my bicycle up that way.
Well, they are located in the old Fairfield Hills.
Yeah, so New Asylum is an old asylum, right?
Is in the old asylum, that's correct. And this comes in at a hefty 5% ABV. And this is a Vienna lager called Chore Boy.
I believe lobotomies were very popular in Fairfield Hills back in the day when that was actually believed to be an effective medical treatment.
What was that movie years ago? Sleepers?
That's one of them, sure.
That also took place with Kevin Bacon in the basement of one of those buildings
Oh, wow.
where they were doing bad things to the boys.
All right.
All right. Let's get a taste of this beer and see what's going on.
Cheers.
Jim has been away from the drinking lately, but he's back in the game just to taste a little bit of beer with us.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm going to stop at the liquor store and, buy a 24-pack of Coors Light on the way out of here.
Oh.
So the thing is, when it comes to Vienna lager, you're going to get some malty smells to the nose. A little sweetness to the malt.
Oh, yeah. That is very malty.
Vienna lager is very nice. And mouthfeel, very nice and smooth.
How's your mouth feel, Jim?
It's a little biscuity. I'm kidding. I heard that on last week's show.
What a douche.
I just wanted to sound knowledgeable.
Douche.
I just wanted to sound knowledgeable.
That was some douchey move right there.
Yeah, and by the way, worth mentioning to your loyal listeners, I'm really more of an alcoholic. I tend to go right to the hard stuff. So when I say I stopped drinking, I mean, you're talking to a guy who's drinking half a bottle of vodka a night, keg, and I'm not kidding.
Yeah, and the thing, too, when it comes to the color, we have a nice reddish amber color. A little bit of lacing, not bad. I'm going to say tasty. This is one of, I say, dude, when was the last time we were at New Salem?
Oh, it was a long time ago when they just opened up.
During COVID.
Yes.
And we had a beer.
Yeah, it was a hazy IPA, I think
and we had to chew that thing down.
It was very thick, yes.
It was not good. But you know what? This Chore Boy.
It's not bad. I don't hate it.
Excuse me.
And there's really very few beers that I actually enjoy, so the fact that I can even drink this without choking.
You do get a nice bready, yummy taste coming through. I like it.
Nice.
So I'm going to give it a solid before we give it a solid later on.
All right. It's pretty good beer. Now, Jim, you got a lot to get off your chest, I believe, because whenever you call me in the 6 in the morning, say you want to come on Beer Man Beer, you have a lot to say.
Hold on, 6 in the morning?
I heard from Jim 6:30 in the morning.
It's true. I wake up thinking about the Bear Man Bear podcast. You can clip that, by the way, and use it for your promos.
Do you hang from your ceiling or something like that?
No. But I do. I have a team of people who work for me, and they're literally located around the world. So when I show up to the office at 6 a.m., it's noon in the Netherlands, or 11, or noon the following evening in Taiwan. You don't care. Here's my beef. I got a little beef with the Bear Man.
You're right. I don't care.
Hold
on. You got a beef with us?
I do. I have
Why?
a little beef.
Why?
Now
Because you haven't been on since 2020?
Nope, nothing to do with that. I listen regularly, and I hear the theme song every week, and I'm told the show is about comedy, concerts, and beer. And I got to tell you, the first two have been getting dealt short shrift of late. I haven't heard a lot of talk of comedy and or concerts, so I thought maybe we can address some of that. Are you receptive to that constructive feedback, or do you think I'm out of my gourd?
No, you're on.
Well, we always think you're out of your gourd.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's a swell
But
hat,
constructive?
though.
Yeah, let's do it.
I do like the toque.
Okay, so
The
so we're-
toque?
It is a toque, right? The hat?
Is that what they call it?
this?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. It's a ski hat.
It
I
looks
don't know.
like you're one of the guys in South Park. It's pretty cool.
Oh, sure. Okay. All right.
Is that what they call them on South Park?
I
Toque?
think they're toques, man.
Really?
It's Canadian, I think.
Oh.
I don't know. Go ahead, Jim. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, that's cool. Yeah. So, all right, sure. Let's talk comedy. What's? I mean, I don't know if you want to get super granular and talk about
When was the last time you were on stage?
Me was at your gig a few months back.
Yeah,
right?
you were at Randall's recently.
Yeah, I did Randall's in West Haven.
How'd you do?
I wasn't horrible for some. I mean, here's the thing. Listen, when you do stand up once, twice a year, and I'll go a step further. All these fucking Connecticut comics that thinks the sun rises and sets because they do gigs in the fucking West Hartford Elbow Room. I will go up any night of the week, no preparation. I will step on stage and I will hold my own, if not best, some of these Connecticut youngsters who think they're the fucking shit.
You're not going to pass out flyers during your set, are you?
No, I don't flyer. That's comedy's is a young man's game. I'm not that motivated. I make good money. I'm not trying to drive to the city. I'm not trying to drive to the fucking Elbow Room. I live in New York. I'm just not that, motivated.
But it's you got a passion for it still.
I do, yeah, and I'm very critical. Like,
Didn't you win a contest?
I did. I won the Treehouse Best Comedy thing, but that was like 20 years ago. So, I mean...
Hey, man, still,
what was the prize?
It's funny. The prize was like, I think, $1,500 or something, but I also...
Really?
Wow.
Also, Brad, one of the prizes was like a guest spot at Dangerfields. And do you know, I never capitalized on that. Like, I never called Brad and say, yeah, hey, let me do time at Dangerfields.
Is that still open?
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either.
Sure.
But I mean, missed
And did it close because of Jim?
No.
Maybe.
But I mean, listen, I did the whole circuit of doing, all the fucking bringers in New York City. And, it's a schlep to have to bring 4 or 5 of your friends to go see you perform.
You're a whore.
Well, yeah, and you feel like how many of your relatives do you want to badger or friends? It's even like guys on Facebook that are comedians and post their next show. Nobody. I want to talk to someone who's ever gone to a show because some other comic threw a fucking Facebook post up.
Well, I remember back in the day when Johnny was like, "Dude, can you go to the show? I got to bring at least 5 people." And I'm like,
"Listen,
all right.
I've done it.
I mean,
that's
every show in the city is a bringer show."
Yeah. Now on the plus side, if you want to say a good thing about bringers, I got on you'd show up Tuesday night. Well, it's just a bringer for us, but Gaffigan shows up, Artie, Jeff Ross, Judy Gold, Dave Attell. So you get to perform alongside those people.
I guess it all depends on where you are.
Yeah, we did back in the day a lot of Saturday early shows. Jim Norton would pop in and do some time, and Rich Foss.
Oh, okay. So kind of like The Stand.
Yep.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, and if I can blow a little smoke up Johnny's ass, I mean, shit.
Hey.
After that intro he gave me, it's the least I can do. But I mean, Johnny's a guy who obviously is hard.
Hope you're not going to ask for a reach around.
No. All right, you ruined the moment. I was just about to jizz all over Johnny, and
Jesus,
you just fucking ruined it. I hope you're happy. I do have one more beef, by the way. Let me know when you're ready for the second beef.
All right, come on.
Where's the beef, Jim?
I was pretty.
Remember that commercial back in the 80s?
Claire Peller was the old lady's name.
Is that right?
Claire Peller.
Okay.
I was pretty excited when I found you guys. I think most people know what a drop is in podcast parlance, right? Like
yes.
an audio effect. So
and
when
I know what a drip is too.
So when I found a drop that I thought was a natural for this show, I took the time, I digitized it, I clipped it, I sent it to Johnny.
It.
Have you used it?
No,
is the question.
This is the second show we've done since we took a huge break.
Now you guys, Keg, here, let me just lay it on you because obviously that the cannonball is one of the core tenets of the Beer Man Beer podcast. Am I right? Explain to your new listeners the concept of the cannonball.
All right, so I'm just going to go back to you. I'm going to volley the cannonball back.
Fine.
Core tenets?
Core tenets. Tenets.
Listen, I'm not that bright.
Okay. One of the core philosophies.
All right. See, you could have said that more than these big words thrown at me.
One of the linchpins of the Beer Man Beer podcast ethos, if I may. I lost
cannonball.
I lost him again.
Man,
cannonball.
We don't have a freaking cannonball.
Jim's going to play the clip.
All right, so is this from Anchorman? Anchorman.
There you go.
Wait, yeah, but you know what? You got to have the
is
intro.
that from Anchorman? I
Absolutely.
thought it was just a commercial.
No. So if you go back to the Anchorman, Will is about to jump in the pool. Or the Anchorman.
Is this the long clip?
Ron Burgundy.
Yeah.
I need all of you.
That is
to
the
stop
intro.
what you're doing and listen.
Oh, so good. Cannonball!
We don't have anything to do a shot of?
Now, I'm going to embarrass myself. I've never seen the movie, the Ron Burgundy movie in full.
1 and 2? Oh, such great movies. You know what? We're going to have a movie night.
Yeah, we'll do that.
We're going to do Anchorman 1 and 2.
Nice.
That's it.
Will I get invited?
Of course, Ben. Jim's always... What? No. She said no.
No. We can Zoom. We'll Zoom or
You got to bring
Teams.
Angie.
And listen, Angie was going to be here tonight. It's her birthday tomorrow.
Oh, happy birthday, Angie.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I had to come here straight from work.
You know what? I got nothing to fix here.
Can I tell you something? I watched the movie Office Space with Angie.
What a great movie. That is
would-
a cult classic
Thank
that
you.
not a lot of people like to watch.
Thank you. Well, Angie, one of them, because she did not find it really humorous. And as a comic, like, I was crestfallen to learn that she just wasn't feeling it.
All right, so if you're into that, how about Louder Milk?
Dude, we rip through
Louder Milk is another great series.
And I see a lot of parallels with myself because he's, this snarky guy who's obviously got a lot
on
of
the
alcohol
wagon.
and
Absolutely.
drug problems. So, I mean, they might have just called it Sharky Milk,
Oh,
frankly.
jeez.
But also to see Brian Regan, a favorite of mine.
I'm going to see him in Ridgefield in May.
Oh, no.
Get out of here.
Yeah, you want to come with me? I
Yes,
got an extra
do.
ticket.
I
I'm
do.
serious.
I want to see Brian Regan.
Do you want to come with me? I got a ticket.
am a big fan. I watch him all the time on Netflix
And oh, by the way,
and on YouTube as well.
Will Sasso, no slouch either. Funny fuck.
He's
Oh,
a
he's
funny
very good,
freaking dude, absolutely. So, watching Brian Regan, he goes into all these different, characters.
Clean comic, too.
But that's a great thing. You make a very good point. But his acting and the way he goes into these different scenes, I was like, wow.
Oh, in terms on Louder Milk? Yeah, he was a
Loudermilk.
good actor, sure.
I would never have seen it, but he's gone into some real depressing, hard pressed family feelings, and it's like, wow, he did a great job. So Louder Milk, if you haven't seen it, I hope they come out with 4.
Yeah, I believe it's getting picked up. Now, what I didn't
hope
know,
season 4
it
comes
was
out.
on like some podunk ATT net, like some channel that nobody had.
Oh, really?
Yeah, go look
I
up,
didn't know
the network that Louder Milk first played on. By the way, I like your what do they call that? The chicken, the styrofoam stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's supposed to make it sound better.
yeah,
That would be Egg Crate.
It's the egg crate. It's
egg crate,
it's also the same stuff that took the station nightclub up in flames.
Oh, well,
in
we're
Rhode
not going to
Island.
have any pyro. On the
Prayers.
show.
Actually, I got a candle lit behind you.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Oh, shit.
Don't you smell it? Cigar Lounge. It's a great smell. I love that smell.
Suddenly feels like a Great White concert in here. Too soon?
What's your favorite Great White song?
I'll tell you what, man. They do a cover of Led Zeppelin, just a full album of Great White doing Zeppelin covers.
Oh,
and
shit.
It is fucking solid. But if to answer your question, Great White, I mean, obviously Rock Me. Everyone's going to go to Rock Me.
Oh, I like Lady Red Light was my favorite one.
House of Broken Something
That was-
is
yeah,
good.
House of Broken Love.
Yeah, good song.
That's a good one. Yeah,
I
there's
got
a lot
respect.
of soul that comes through that.
And
song.
listen, Jack White or Jack Russell, you better believe that fucked with his head.
Oh, no doubt.
100 people died.
No doubt,
and he's
man.
still
Plus
out
a
there.
guitar player died too.
Yeah, guitar player died, and he's still, trying to do shows and stuff, and that's tough, man. That's on your back.
But he also did a tribute to Rush, and I forget the song, but he did a great job singing it. So
Yep.
kudos to him.
Who knew Great White would come up in conversation?
Yeah.
That'd be great. So I got some more beer coming up. We have a few to try.
We got 2 more to try.
We got a whole lot more. Of
And we got a
Sharky,
whole lot
so
of gin.
I'm pretty sure we're going to have more beef with this guy.
It's always good to see you, Jim.
Got a whole lot of gin.
Dude, I
Got
thought
a whole
about
lot of gin.
I thought the same song.
We'll be back with more Sharky and beer on Beer Man Beer. Oh, yeah. It's Beer Man Beer. Jim Sharky's here.
We're drinking beer.
And Jim is perpetual motion today.
Yeah, dude won't freaking stop.
He ran down to get a Pepsi.
And he ran.
Got accused of doing God knows what, but truly, you can see here I'm enjoying a.
No, Jim, I believe you went down to your car just for a Pepsi. Trust me.
There's a song about that, don't you know? Suicidal tendencies.
Oh, yeah. Still enjoying this new Silent beer. Keg Kettles, what do you think?
Dude, I love the reddish hue. The nice biscuity notes to it. A little bit of caramel coming through that.
All I wanted
it's
was a
an-
Pepsi.
See, exactly. See, he knows what you're talking about. Yeah, I definitely dig this beer. So you know what? We need to go to New
We'll
Salem.
go to New Salem. We'll hang out, have some beers, a little Pepsi, quote unquote Pepsi, and we'll have a good time.
I was listening back to our podcast the other day, and there are words that I continuously say
Yep.
that I'm trying not to say.
Oh.
So I'm trying to catch myself before I say them.
Well, one of your best phrases, but hold on. I know. Yeah, that's a classic.
And so, or listen.
Listen.
That's another one.
Listen.
But anyway used to be my big one on the podcast.
I'm trying to.
I think mine is,
I'm trying to focus. Trying to focus.
That's it. Focus.
And drink this beer.
Look, I.
And sometimes I pause too much.
Ciao, Jim's got notes. Check it out.
Yeah, can I? Because again, I feel like I'm under the crunch here. So can I at least plug through some of these notes here?
Hang on.
As long as you're plugging your notes.
Okay, so we're going to talk about. I want to talk about Connecticut comedy in particular because this show originates out of Connecticut. I know you guys are a global phenomenon, but if I could just talk about Connecticut comedy for a brief moment, Keg, will you indulge me?
Yes.
What are you talking about?
So there's a few things that, or you know what really,
in your ear about comedy. Oh,
you know what really grinds my gears? I'm going to give you one, and I won't even name names. But if you are here's a for instance, Johnny Benson, Extreme Comedy, Comedy for Cash. He's out there booking shows. He doesn't feel a need to put himself as a performer on every fucking show. Like, don't you think, Keg, that's a little self-serving? Like, if you really are the champion of comedy and are trying to, like, foster the scene, maybe putting you and your Sideshow Bob here. No, I don't want to say that. I was going to goof on the guy's haircut. But
Foster or
it
Cradle?
actually is long, lush, luxurious.
Cradle?
If you know, you know. But anyway, my point is, I just don't think that's really...
Jim, what's your point?
You're not serving the Connecticut comedy scene when you're going to put yourself on every fucking show that you run. That's what I'm saying, Keg Kettles.
Oh, I just don't do it because I'm kind of lazy.
All right, so you would otherwise. So
No, I wouldn't.
So you're saying as a promoter guy that you're saying shut the fuck up, Sharky. That's
No,
just
I
saying,
would never tell you to shut the
we
fuck
book
up.
the show. We're going to
You
give
know,
ourselves
I
time.
could probably tell you to shut the fuck up.
I get it,
I could
Keg.
probably tell you that.
Keg is hot out of the gates today. Keg is very
We're
hostile.
fired up, man. We're getting this.
Listen,
we got,
I had a 12%er before I came into this.
All right.
And it's good stuff.
Let me get into more safe territory, a colloquialism, if you will. I'll explain in a minute. The term packy. Have you guys ever discussed how packy, referring to a liquor store,
That's
is
a big Connecticut
yeah,
thing,
it's
right?
very much a Connecticut colloquialism.
It's, okay. Continue.
No, I was just going to say that. I mean, if you talk to somebody from Massachusetts or New Hampshire and you say, hey, I'm going to the packy, they don't know what you're talking about. In Connecticut, it's ubiquitous.
So it's not just a... See, I thought it was a New England thing.
I'm pretty sure it's Connecticut specifically.
I
Back me up.
believe it is Connecticut.
Okay, so the Abits, that is also a Connecticut thing.
Is that right?
Nowhere anywhere else.
That's not
except-
Italian?
That is not Italian. That is a Pepe.
Beats?
Or as they like to say, Pepe. People have a different pronunciation for Pepes. It's all about the Italian dialect, I guess.
Here's my other. You want one more Connecticut comedy
All
gripe?
right, let's do it.
Let me piss off some more people. So in Connecticut, there's a local rock radio station, WPLR. And
We're familiar.
Chaz and AJ are the big morning guys.
I know. Who listens to that?
Well, that's my point. Well, first of all, nobody listens to terrestrial radio, but
I mean, XM kind of took over.
I don't want to poop all over the guests because they do have some, local Connecticut guys that are kind of funny. But also, let's just say the bar doesn't appear to have been set super high. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I don't know. I just, yeah.
Yeah, why haven't we been on that show yet?
I don't know. Maybe they don't like beer.
Johnny, you're just trying to get me in trouble, aren't you? I see Johnny filming me.
I like the little video teasers for the podcast.
Here's the rope, Sharky. Do your
man,
thing.
it's all about
Yeah,
numbers,
we put a
man.
little bit. We put Brie almost eating a can of beer on it.
We're
It got
in a
quite a
numbers
lot of
game,
numbers.
man.
And a lot of people would say, well, Sharky, that's you're just jealous because you want to do the show or something. And there's probably some merit to that. But the reality is, I mean, I'm past the halfway point of existence
Pretty
in life.
sure you would be a great guest on PLR, and you have a lot of history in Connecticut comedy, but
again, it's not. Here's the thing. Okay, so when my dad died, you want to hear a story? I'm going to give you a real fucking story right here. So when my dad passed away, I have 3 stepsisters. And so when they did like the church service.
So is this a Cinderella story?
No. When they did the church service, nobody asked me if I wanted to get up and eulogize my dad. Now, listen, my dad and I were kind of estranged. I hadn't talked to him for a few years toward the end of his life. But I think as a son, as a blood relative, I should have been given the opportunity.
Yes.
I would have declined. I would have said no. But to my stepsisters, fuck all y'all for that. I didn't think that was cool. And then even in the obituary, they listed the steps before the actual biological children.
Oh, wow.
Like, that seems kind of back-ass words to me.
All right. You don't think they listen to the show, right?
No, fuck them. Dude, I was doing comedy. I was doing stand-up at, I think, Joey C's in Stratford.
Yes.
2 of my stepsisters were there, sat in the table in the front row, just like where you guys are now.
Get outta here.
I'm doing stand-up, and they are chatting. They're like every comic's nightmare, the fucking chatty girls at the table that won't shut the fuck up. And I had to stop in the middle of my act, and I said, why the fuck are you even here? And I haven't talked to my stepsisters since.
Oh, man.
That is
Well,
beautiful.
let's drink to Jim's stepsisters. Here we go.
I have anger.
Should we do a cannonball for them?
I don't even want to do a
Let's
cannonball.
do a cannonball. Why not?
Let's do a cannonball.
Jim, you ready for a cannonball?
Yeah,
might as
sure.
well.
I will.
We're going to drink the same cannonball we had last week with Breezy, which little coffee action there.
I hope no bean this time.
No beans. Hopefully, yeah.
No beans.
Perfect, Jim. Thank you.
I got to bring my own fucking drops to this.
Thank you, Will Ferrell.
We're gonna get more high tech.
Oh, shoot. I got
Just wait.
Here's another thing about comedy that really fucking irks me these days, and this, the divide of like being a political comic and
Yes.
how anybody would want to do
Hey, Bert
something.
Kreischer's coming in.
Oh, is he gonna take his shirt off, Bert? Are you gonna?
I don't think he owns shirts.
He's on a billboard with his shirt off.
Ugh. To you, Bert Kreischer, I say, ugh.
I'm going to keep mine on.
Can I tell you 2 comics that I really love these days?
Oh,
'Cause
yeah, well, holy shit, yeah. You
Hey,
might as
listen,
well
don't
bring
choke
some
on the
light
bean.
to all
I
your
felt the bean
throwing
fall in your
shade.
cup.
I got to tell
Let's do
you,
the cannonball first.
Yeah,
Let's
sure.
Take a shot. Cheers to here's the Jim Sharky sisters
here's to falling off sobriety.
and all the comics that were.
The only reason to get on a wagon is to fall off at some
There
point.
you go.
See, and it's not January anymore.
Cannonball.
What the hell was in there? Like lumps of shit. I think I ate a fucking termite in there. What was that?
You know what? It gets more mellow as we.
That was good.
That's
pretty good.
It's good.
2 comics worth checking out in my mind.
Okay.
A guy by the name of Brian Holtzman, who's like an older guy. He's kind of in that Joe Rogan clique. He's like one of these really kind of just offensive. We'll say whatever. Gives 0 fucks. He's got a special on YouTube you can watch. And the other guy by the name of Dave Hill. Who is super funny, very good guitar player, and he incorporates that. I know that's cringy when you say somebody brings their guitar into the act. You think shades of cringy Adam Sandler, but this guy's pretty fucking funny. So,
I like it.
Yeah, check out
All right,
Dave.
now I got to ask you, Jim.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with adjuncts on the stage, man.
Sure, go ahead, Johnny.
Got to ask you. What are your thoughts on Matt Rife?
I've never really sat and watched his comedy. I
Good.
mean, listen, he's a handsome fella apparently who's
A bit of a douche.
yeah. I'm kind of not qualified to comment. I mean, listen, he's shaking his moneymaker. I
Yeah,
guess.
good for him, man. He's making money.
You know, the fact that he got canceled.
No, what did he get canceled for? I wasn't aware of this.
I'm not truly exactly sure,
Oh, he must have said something.
but he did make some references to the women, that go to the shows.
Oh, that's not good.
He kind of buried the female class. Not good.
Well, never shit on your own following, right?
I will tell you though,
Yeah.
I just said you should never get political, but I got to tell you, one of the funniest lines I ever heard in a while was Shane Gillis, who referred to Obama.
He said Joe Obama.
He said Obama, Joe Biden, excuse me. He said Biden at the end of every speech turns into a Roomba. And yeah, Shane Gillis just signed a deal with Bud Light. By the way, they're trying to do damage control from the whole Dylan Mulvaney thing. So. I guess their answer was to give Shane Gillis a butt ton of money.
Who's the guy who does UFC?
Joe Rogan.
No.
You mean the head of UFC?
Yeah.
That's Dana White.
Dana White. I think he jumped on the bandwagon as well.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's money. There's lots of money to be made. So,
Oh, absolutely. I understand it.
And the reality is the whole Dylan Mulvaney thing was silly. I mean, they only made like one fucking can for the guy, girl, whatever. By the way, in trans news, and I know you guys don't usually get into this, but in Brookfield, Connecticut, which is so close to where I used to live in Ridgefield for 13 years, they court mandated a tampon dispenser in the boys' dressing room. True story as of today. And I'm proud to say there's hope for humanity because the boys of that school ripped that fucking thing down in 20 minutes time.
Cannonball.
Wow. No one.
Hey, listen, we haven't done a cannonball in a while.
All right, I want your thoughts on this because I tried to talk with Bree, and Bree wasn't having it.
All right.
Joe Coy at the Golden Globes.
I mean, listen,
thoughts?
he sucked. I think his biggest problem was he didn't acknowledge like how obscure or unknown he was. Like he should have been much more self-deprecating and kind of shit. Like, you know, maybe come out and say, "Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here either."
I think the biggest thing he did wrong was that
he pushed the writers under the bus.
Put the writers under the bus. Yeah, he said, "Hey, the stuff I wrote is getting laughs, and the stuff the writers wrote."
Yeah, no, that's
we're not supposed to know there's writers. We're supposed to assume this is all coming out of this guy's mind.
That's a guy panicking at that point.
He got nervous when he didn't get, and we've all been there before where we
and
went off the rails when we didn't get a laugh.
I mean, I always like Joey Coy personally. I mean, I've talked to him a little bit here and there on social media, but yeah, he handled that badly.
All right, so my question to you guys is, are you in it? Are you watching it for the Hollywood aspect or for the comedic
I literally watched just to watch Joe Coy and see how he did.
Oh, yeah, I turned it on.
So it's comedic. It's
I didn't watch any of
the horrors of
once his monologue was done, I turned it off. I watched it a little bit more. I thought that the writing for the presenters was worse than what they did for Joe.
Yeah, it was bad all around.
It's all worse. It's all bad.
Hey, can somebody give me like a heads up when we're at like say the 10 minutes to go? Because I want to tell you my Super Bowl story, which is of course very relevant and topical, and I am going to tell folks how I used to ride the short yellow bus to go to in the morning.
You want to get into that now, or do you want to take a rest, or do you?
No, that's cool. You want to hear which one?
Let's
you
go
want?
Super Bowl.
Let's hammer it.
Super Bowl.
Let's do
Super
it.
Bowl.
We're all in. We're
Super Bowl.
shifting gears, man.
I forget the name of the comedy club. Johnny, you might be able to help me out. It was near the airport in Hartford, Connecticut, near Bradley. I forget the room.
I think that is, I'll come up with it.
And it might have been Brad that actually booked me there.
It was.
Brad Axelrod. So, $100 to go perform halftime at the Super Bowl. I thought, sure, I'm going to go check it out.
Not that I've heard your story before.
Yep.
But I've heard. Now I don't know who I heard it from. But they told a story how they were at that location up on 75.
Yeah.
By the airport.
Yeah, that was Bobby V's, right?
That could be. Oh, it was Bobby Valentine's. Right.
So who did a spot in Bobby Valentine's?
We all probably all did, right?
But this was something that a group of us talked about recently.
Oh, recently?
Yeah.
By the way, I don't mean to address the elephant in the room, but I know it wasn't me, so it's a 50-50, but one of you guys farted, and it really stinks. Anybody want to cop to that?
Nah, dude.
Keg, we're looking at you, buddy.
I swear to God, I would have done it in the mic.
Oh, listen. If it was me, I'd be smiling.
No, I don't know. Maybe
I don't even smell nothing.
All right,
I think it's you, shit
Is
pants.
it the cannonball?
Something must have escaped.
Check your depends, Sharky.
Sorry.
Hey.
I apologize. Back to the Super Bowl.
Oh, bastard.
So I get paid to do halftime at the Super Bowl. Now, most comics...
How much did you get? How much did you get to do
Hold
halftime?
on, whatever happened is
$100.
whoever smelt it, dealt it.
Yeah, no.
Sure, okay, I
Whoever
farted.
denied it, supplied it, man.
$100, easy money. I go to there.
He comes on the show and he breaks our balls
He
about
blows
farting.
cheese, man.
I'm sorry. So, one of the things most comics will tell you is that performing at a sports bar is not always a great thing because, let's be honest, people are there for the sports, don't really care about the comedian. To make it worse, they had a free buffet at halftime.
Oh, man.
So, it gets worse,
You had to
Really?
compete with wings?
It gets worse.
All right, so give me a spread of this.
Oh, the food? You want to know the
food?
actual?
Yeah,
I mean,
I wanna know the
it was bar food, but it was a nice bar food spread. Yeah. So when
I want to know the spread.
Chicken wings.
Was there jalapeno poppers on there?
Yeah, probably.
So a little charcuterie,
pickle flavored beer, the whole gamut.
Oh, come on! Why you got to throw that back in my
call back there? So anyway, people are queuing up. People are, I'm good. No more for me. People are queuing up because they want nobody cares about the comedian. To make it worse, there's a giant 10-foot screen behind me. And you know who the halftime performance was that year? It wasn't Rihanna. It wasn't Usher. It was a fucking Rolling Stones.
Oh, man.
So I'm competing against the Rolling Stones on a 10-foot screen.
And fried cheese sticks.
Queuing up. And
fried cheese sticks.
And when I tell you nobody gave two fuck, I mean more so than usual. Nobody gave a fuck what I was saying. And I took my $100 and went home. So
there you go.
Not the end of the day.
You should have invested that $100 and bought your own comedy club.
Well, that's the thing. That's what irks me. So these guys who put themselves on every show apparently are, backers. They put the money in. That's fine, but I think it's excessive. If you're claiming to be some champion of Connecticut comedy, you're doing Connecticut.
Well, you are a champion of Connecticut comedy.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you're an owner of a club and you purport to be this, you're kind of being disingenuous by putting yourself. Oh, by the way, that same guy blocked me on Instagram. Real thick comedy skin there, you fucking pussy.
Oh,
I don't want to name names, but it rhymes with Bo Barracks.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait, was she with Dudley Moore on the beach?
Yes.
That's someone.
Yes, she was a 10 and he's a fucking 0.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, that would be Bo Derek.
Sharky's not holding back.
And while we're at it, kind of similar to that, blocking me on like Instagram. You have a friend, Johnny Benson, who were I guess both friends.
I got a lot of friends.
So he was doing some I commented on his Facebook thread, and it was something about no.
Can I get this on video?
Listen,
can I get this on video?
Yeah, sure.
Hang on.
Oh, it's been such a long time, Jim.
Okay, come on, man. You're slowing my roll there.
Well, so listen, I'm a roadblock at every corner.
This is almost as bad as Lenny Bruce reading like his court transcripts on stage, sitting here reading Facebook comments. But so one of these comedy friends of Johnny Benson mentioned something, and it's something to the effect of like, milk was like $6 a gallon or something. And I just made like a flip comment like, oh, well, there's Bidenomics for you at work. And that dude fucking blocked me on Facebook.
Wow.
I mean, what a pussy. I mean, grow some fucking thick skin, buddy.
Well, this is the world we live in, man. That's it.
You don't have the right to not be offended in this world. And listen, that's no skin off my teeth. I'm not friends with this nameless guy who I didn't even know anyway. But gosh, that's kind of a puss move, don't you think, Keg?
This is what they do. If you don't agree with their agenda, they will block you and smear you.
Yeah, well,
we've been on the front end of that too. So it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, these are tough times, man. There was a comedy club, and I wish I had the piece of paper with me. This, I hate to say it. I hate to say woke because they'll say, okay, boomer. But there's this comedy club in D.C., I think.
Say woke.
And they have like this letter to the comics that's telling you what you can and can't. Like, listen, when I won the contest, Brad's contest, he basically said, you can say the F word once, which I get. He was trying, but to have, be a comedy club owner and to say you can't talk about, any ism, this, that, but if you get up there and rail against evil white supremacy, I'm sure they'll be fucking jacking it harder than Pee-wee in the theater.
Yeah, but you know what? We can go back to the early episodes of Beer Man Beer podcast, and we talked about that. And Rob Schneider and Jerry Seinfeld were both huge proponents of that movement. They're going to all these colleges and they're being told, no, you can't say that. Then what am I doing here? Why am I here to do comedy if I can't do my bit?
I mean, listen, if you wonder why I don't perform that much, A, because I'm a largely lazy motherfucker, but B, who wants to go deal with that?
We got two lazy fuckers with us.
Yeah, we're going to fucking
what the fuck? He's lazy, you're lazy.
We're going to do the Walker tour.
I was going to say a nap tour. We could just set up a couple cots on stage.
Well, let me tell you, nap sounds
No, we're not taking no naps. You gave me some pills here. What are these things?
That is kratom. I don't know if you're... Now, kratom is essentially... It's an herb. It's from, I think, the caffeine family.
Dude, you put those in your ass?
No, they're not
going to my ass.
Dude, those things are huge.
Jesus Christ. Kratom is an herb, and if you want to find out about kratom, go to YouTube. I think
those things are freaking big.
I give up.
Right.
Anyway,
it's an herb. It's a good herb, right? I took 5 of them, so am I going to die or no?
No, do you feel any different?
I feel a lot more awake than I was when I showed up.
Well, the thing with kratom is...
Dude, you got heart problems too, man. Come on, man.
Dude, kratom
Dude,
is...
what the fuck's wrong with you?
Dude, it's all natural.
Come on, man.
All natural. He told me it was natural. I believe him.
If he drops dead, I think I could probably fill in. Me, you, and Breezy could probably be a formidable...
You know what? I would listen to that episode. I will take a day off, and you 3 guys do it. I would listen to that episode over and over again on replay.
I can't kill Johnny.
I'm not going to kill you, Johnny.
Come on.
Anyway, kratom is an herb. A lot of people take it to get off the hard stuff, off of the prescription opiates.
Like methadone.
No, opiates.
I take something else to get hard.
Oxycontin. That's a... Suddenly, I feel like I'm in last week's episode with Gary. Make some more double entendres.
Cannonball.
I got a cannonball right here.
I'm all set.
Come on, Jim.
Yeah.
Cannonball.
All right, we got another beer.
We must be living in an alternate universe where I'm the voice of moderation and sobriety.
Do you need
We got another beer.
Hold on.
Hey, John.
Do you need to take a pee?
Yeah, let's take a break.
Hang on.
I got a new bear now, and she's a lot like you.
All right, hang on.
Whose idea was to bring him on the show?
Just like you, Turner.
I told you, he called me at 6 in the morning and said, I got to be back on Beer Man Beer.
It's true. I did.
I said, fuck a Bud Light. That shit ain't right.
And you had like this epiphany,
Yeah.
and then he called,
Yeah.
and it completely blew your mind.
And then you called me and said, who do we have this week? And I was like, oh, fuck, I better call Jim.
Oh. Wow.
We love you, Jim.
More beer when we come back.
I just wanna have a good
Yeah.
What? That smells good? All right, you cracked the beer open and said, wow. You haven't even tasted it yet.
There is all kinds of grapefruit, citrus notes that
All
come
right.
through this. It smells really juicy.
Well, I asked specifically.
Here's your beer, man.
It's my beer. Okay. Let me pull up the info on this beer. Shout out to Mongo and Atlanta, Georgia for letting us play their music. All right. I have some info on this beer. I checked this out. I was in Westchester, New York, and I figured, let me hit a brewery. So let me get my reader glasses on because I'm very, very old.
So you're saying this is a brewery in Westchester?
Well, no, this was not.
Westchester, New York.
I went to a tap room.
A tap room.
By the way, I literally live in Westchester. You think my phone rang? No call from Johnny.
Well, I was at work. Well,
Okay.
Hold on. You knew
I
you were
might
coming
have been
here. It's
at
a beer
work.
podcast. Why didn't you bring beer? But yet you bring a Crush and a Pepsi.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not much of a beer drinker. I mean, you
It
should
doesn't
be-
matter. You're
What-
coming to a beer podcast. You bring
right.
beer.
all right, this is from Trillium Brewery. Is scaled as the first IPA brewed and packaged in their Canton, Massachusetts facility. It's from the spring of 2018. I'm sorry. And shit. This is an IPA with El Dorado, Citra, and Columbus hops. It is creates
What's the horsepower?
This has an aromatic blast
Aromatic.
of juicy mango, pineapple, and lemon candies. Pineapple, sweet orange, and pink. Grapefruit flesh. Follow on medium palate for a finish with a medium to bitter soft bitterness. All right. We got to taste this. All right. Where's your glasses? Let me take my readers off.
It's all pink inside, right, Johnny?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry that I read like I'm on hooked on phonics, but
Hey, Hooked on Phonics worked for me.
Ooh, I'm not going to lie.
Hey,
The
Jim.
nose on this is pretty serious.
There is a huge citrus nose on this. You're getting a lot of grapefruit, maybe a little nectarine, a little tangerine.
Dare I say a little palmello?
Oh, hey, what is that one that you can basically eat the whole thing without the clementine? That's it.
Oh, my
so
darling.
it's very citrusy, very all kinds of. It's a fruity beer, Jim Sharky.
No, it's not a fruity beer.
No.
No, that stuff that we drank last episode.
Oh, I gotta have Jim try that.
dude, that was
Fruitier than Diddy?
Dude, that was in TD Jakes.
Wow.
Anyway, there is a whole lot of citrus going on there, man.
This is pretty good, man.
I'm going in for a taste.
I'm feeling more fruity by the sip. Johnny, you're looking good, buddy.
Shout out to Sierra,
Look at
the beer tender at the.
Sharky keeps looking at you.
What? What are you looking at? That's a scary look. Oh no!
He got his eye on Johnny B.
He wants to snort me like I'm a lion.
Hey, do you guys watch 1,000 Pound Sisters at all?
Dude, I watched 5 minutes of it before I came here today. I was like, "What is this show?"
Didn't one of this? That is really good.
It's good. Oh my god!
Not the show, the beer. That is.
It is.
I'm sure the 1,000 Pound Sisters is just as good as this beer. What are you saying?
Didn't one of them die?
No, her husband died.
Oh,
Caleb passed away. In fact, it's going to be on the season finale next week on TLC.
that's
You
rough.
just freaking killed it.
Oh man!
Well, people who are in the
Spoiler
know.
alert!
Oh man.
Sorry, buddy.
Good looking out for TLC, making like
But dude, this
very
IPA
huge old ladies, fucking stars.
All right, so where is this from?
This is from it's Massachusetts, and
There is no bitter in this at all.
that was very
This is very smooth. It's not chewy.
I'm going to try and
It's-
derail the bear conversation talking
Shut
about
up, Sharky.
bad TLC shows.
They're all bad.
How about My 600-Pound Life? Dr. Now? Hello.
Keg likes to watch the ones where they pick earwax and stuff like
Oh,
that.
Pimple Popper?
Hold
Pimple
on,
Popper,
hold on,
Pimple
hold
Popper.
on. Okay, so Dr. Pimple Popper is really great to watch, and I watch a lot of that, and I watch a lot of spin-offs on Instagram.
You just watch because she's hot.
Yeah.
Oh, she is a hot Asian, absolutely. But you like the hot Asian too.
I do.
So
Are you guys married yet, or are you just engaged?
No.
No, but I mean, listen, I've been owning
he's just
Chinese.
engaged.
All right.
You missed that.
So anyway, so me and Johnny were at Bad Sons the other day, and we were watching Dr. Booger.
Yeah.
I had no idea that's a thing.
It's a thing on Instagram.
Dr. Booger is a thing. He goes deep into your nose and pulls out these big rocks of
Yeah, like
snot.
huge oysters, man.
huge,
Big
huge
old mazer
boogers.
fucking oysters, man.
They're like rocks that these guys are pulling
And
out.
it's
of his
hard
nose.
to not watch, even as gross as it is. But it's
Wait, is it Dr. Booger Picker? Let's get the name right here.
No, it was.
I think it was just Dr.
I think
Booger.
it was just Dr. Booger.
Okay.
Oh, maybe it's like how there's thousands of beer podcasts.
Hold
even though
on.
we're the best.
You're not in airplane mode.
Oh, sorry.
You douche.
Oh well, he's not getting no feedback. Let him go.
I'm good. Sorry. Why, is that going to mess with your broadcast?
Well, it usually does, but right now it didn't.
Yeah,
I don't know.
whatever.
If I was not in airplane mode, we'd be hearing.
Get back to the boogers.
They would. This Dr. Booger
Yeah.
Picker. He goes in with this clamp, and he's got the video camera up the dude's nose. It's primarily dudes because there's a lot of hair up there.
Oh yeah.
And he'll get in for that rock, and he'll start tugging and shucking and jiving and all kinds of stuff, and then he'll pull it out, and then he puts it down on a table. It's like I couldn't even tell you how big it is. It's a massive chunk of booger.
Ooh. Jim's looking it up.
I gotta see this big old boogie.
There was
Anyways.
one he was pulling out. We thought it was a spider because of how it looked coming out.
Oh,
but
God.
But in fact, it was just so juicy.
Oh,
It was just a juicy wad of booger.
All right. So how is the juicy beer compared to
Dude,
the
this is
Booger?
really good.
This is good beer.
I like it.
You know what? And shout out to Celine at the bar.
This is really good.
She said that this was going to be a really good beer.
I get strong. Is there mango in there? I definitely get like
Yeah.
a mango vibe.
Yeah, did I say that?
I did.
You might
I
have.
did hear mango.
Mango, pineapple, tangerine, all the good shit right there.
I don't know about.
Scaled is a good beer.
I'm not sure about the pineapple.
Pineapple's in there, man.
I know, but
You don't
I
taste
don't
it?
taste the pineapple.
That's all right. Still tastes good.
Now, if Breezy was here, she'd taste the pineapple.
Breezy would smell it and know everything that was in it.
She does have a very fine, discerning beer palate.
She likes the pineapple for whatever reason. I mean, don't get me wrong. Pineapple is really yummy. Johnny, hit me. Give me some more.
More beer.
More beer.
More beer. More beer. More beer. More beer. More beer.
Why is my glass bigger than everybody else's?
Genetics.
Man, that
Jim's look at the
What?
look. Whenever Jim is ready, he's ready to rant on something because I saw that.
dude, he won't stop moving.
When he hold, yeah, I know
He's making me nervous.
He's perpetual no motion, man.
He's making me nervous.
Just swaying side
And why
to
does he keep
side.
looking at me? with these
horny.
loving eyes.
You're a
He's
handsome
horny,
fella.
man.
It's 2024,
Jim, what's the
man.
next beef you have in your phone? I know you have a full list.
Come
of,
on, Jim.
The next beef?
You have some more beef, right?
I mean, I have comments, just things to mention. Obviously, we've covered all the TLC shows. One more thing, and this is just a humorous thing that makes me chuckle.
So is that all the TLC shows? All fat people?
Well, there are a lot. Well, you know what's ironic? They have all these fat shows. They have all these shows dedicated to losing weight, 600-pound life. But then they have a show called My Big Fat Fabulous Life. So they're like, it's like the pharmaceutical industry. They create the cure. They make the disease. It's just like TLC. They put the fatties on, and then they talk about losing weight. But
The
then they
heavy
have
duties,
Then
if
they
you
have
will.
My Big Fat Fabulous Life, celebrating and glorifying it.
My goodness.
I just give up. I was going to say this, so this isn't really a beef because I actually, Rob Santos is a comedian in Connecticut.
Oh, I love Rob.
I think he's very funny.
Great guy.
And I've written him as much to say that. But one thing I always chuckle because he
Can
does.
I yell bullshit?
No, this is true.
I'm yelling bullshit.
No. So he does a thing where he teaches, he instructs people to become comedians. And he uses, I believe the moniker is each one teach one.
Each one teach one, yep.
And me being like a
Why does
juvenile.
that sounds like gay.
Well, here's the thing. I always thought, just because I'm a silly person, I thought maybe you should do a thing dedicated.
Very Philly.
Do you know how some women like to bleach their anus? They actually, it's a thing. Do you know that's a thing, Keg?
He does now.
So I thought, kind of in the same vein, instead of doing
Dude, that
that,
came out my nose.
that I was going to start a whole thing and bring some young ladies who are interested in the bleaching, and it was called Each One Bleach One.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. Anybody's down for that, hit up Jim Sharky.
Oh man, I got.
If you need to
IPA.
bleach your brown eye.
Is this the first time you ever got a solid spit take out of
Oh
Keg's
no!
nose?
Oh no! I think we've had at least 4.
I got IPA coming out.
Well, you could have stroked my ego and said, yeah.
I'm sorry. Yes. That was the most I've ever seen. Most
all over
beer.
my glasses.
Most beer ever coming out of Keg's nostrils was right there.
Man. All right. So continue, Jimmy.
This beer is good.
Briefly, the short yellow bus, and people always, I was a relatively smart kid. I mean, they wanted to skip me from first grade to fourth grade as a kid, and luckily my mother had the good sense and said, no, dude, that will mess you up, socially, and she was so right, because I skipped 1 grade, and look, I mean, I'm a fucking mess, but, so my parents were divorced. She worked like a Jamaican. Is that, I mean, people nowadays, you got to be so careful what you say. Isn't that complimentary if you say, a Jamaican is, works hard and...
No, I know a lot of Jamaicans that work really hard.
Yeah.
Right, it's a
I know
compliment.
a couple lazy ones too that just smoke weed.
But and by the
Well,
way,
there's that too.
had-
But you know what? Look at society, and no matter what you look at, there's always the lazy ones and hard workers.
So you're familiar with DEI? I'm sure you've probably had to sit through some diversity, equity, and inclusion thing.
Yeah,
It is so
that
bad
is
now.
another thing that's killing this country.
I'm not even
Anyway,
kidding. I was working out at the gym where I work. They have a facility, so it's me and a couple of coworkers, and you literally have to now.
Your job has a gym?
Yes, and you have to parse through the lyrics of the song, thinking, "Can I play this? Am I gonna trigger somebody with some microaggression?" Because I listened to "Fuck the Police." Okay, maybe not. I didn't listen to "Fuck the Police," but listen, it is a banger. And who doesn't like "Cop Killer" by
Ice-T.
Thank you, Ice-T and Body Count.
Yeah, never my favorite.
No, I kind of dig
Yeah,
it.
they're pretty good though.
I digress. So my mother
I
worked.
don't know. He's better of a rapper than a hardcore guy.
Sure. Well, he's a sellout now, but so my mother worked she worked a lot of jobs.
So you're saying because he sells car insurance, he's a sellout?
Car Shield. We talking about Car Shield. Anyway, so my mother, among the many jobs she used to work at, one of them was driving a bus for very special needs, developmentally disabled. I don't know what the right word is in 24. But she used to take me, so if she didn't have childcare, my mother would bring me and I would sit on the short yellow bus. And when you're like a 7-year-old, you can't process, the developmentally disabled. I mean, these kids were really,
There's a lot of stuff going on in that short bus.
and I'm saying it scarred them. Listen, can you not tell I have PTSD to this day?
Yeah, because you haven't sat in approximately 52 minutes.
I'm standing. It keeps me...
Dude, you keep moving. I'm getting nervous. I'm what are you going to do?
So you're kind of like the Rain Man thing, where you're really really smart, but you look kind of retarded. Right?
Well, yeah. I think it's the other way around. I mean, I'm kind of retarded, but I'm also kind of smart. By the way, if you haven't seen Love on the Spectrum on Netflix, which is about people with autism dating, It's
Dude, I keep
fantastic.
going past it. I gotta watch it. I gotta hit it.
It's really
I'm hitting
good.
it.
And it's sweet. Like, it's not mean-spirited or punching down. It's really a sweet show. So I encourage people to watch
Okay.
it.
All right. I gotta watch it.
So anyway, I used to get brought on the short yellow bus, and it messed me up. That's what I'm saying here. Bullying. I got the shit bullied out of me.
Oh, who didn't? This
come
table.
on,
But
man.
you know what?
Who
That's,
had
that's
it?
my point. I mean, I was the bully. I was bullied, and then I went on to be, they say the abuser becomes
Shit.
Exactly.
We didn't have hashtags in the 80s.
right.
Hashtag, how's my fist taste, fucker?
And listen, I look back at some of the bullying we used to do. I mean, we were really kind of mean. I went to Bunnell High School
Kinda?
in Connecticut.
Oh, Stratford.
And there was a very long hallway where everybody had to walk down the hallway during lunch. And after lunch,
The Green Mile.
Yeah, and after lunch, you would wait in the hallway for the kids to come back, and we would mercilessly taunt kids. And I don't even want to repeat some of what we said because it is embarrassing. But conversely, like I said, I used to get picked on. I used to have to run home from school to avoid Johnny Ray and the kids from Cornwall Street. And see, it still scarred my. I'm going to go one further. I had a music appreciation class with one of these bullies, and they would bring in albums to listen to. And just to give you context of when it was, he would bring I remember he brought the Carry On Wayward Kansas.
Kansas, yeah.
Kansas, yeah.
I hear the opening notes to that song, and I
start rocking.
I get scared. No, yeah, I start
start
rocking
rocking.
like a
You
mental
start foaming
patient.
at the mouth. Oh, man.
And what I've told my mother, and she hates this, but I mean, I definitely have some tism. I mean, I'm on the spectrum. If you can't figure that out listening to this.
You know what? Who isn't?
Right, true. But I mean,
I think I am.
Nobody was diagnosing it back then. That's the thing. Yeah. Ladies, if you want to be a part of Each One Bleach One, give us a call here at the Beer Man Bear podcast. We provide
And a shout out to Rob, too.
Rob's a funny guy, man, and he's getting his up there in
I
Hartford.
got to tell you, some of his students ended up
How
being
is he
some of the
getting
funny.
his?
Oh, really?
Yeah, C.W. Davis, really funny guy. Started with Rob, and also Sexy Stout, I believe, was a student of Rob.
Do you know I took a comedy class with Eddie Brill, the guy who used to book comics for Letterman?
Oh, I took his hotel room in Mohegan Sun when he hosted the contest because he left early. So
Did
left
he
me his
take
hotel
your
room.
anal virginity?
No, he left and left me his hotel room.
This got weird all of a sudden.
All right, we're getting weird.
Sorry.
All right, more beer. We do have one more beer to taste.
One more beer. It's a 12%er.
How did we blow our time limit?
No.
We're not there yet.
We might be. Yeah, we're getting close.
All right, tell you what. Let me dig a song up.
My glasses are dirty, man.
Hey, man.
I got to wash them.
My tunes, man. What is my phone doing?
I don't know. You have an iPhone.
The fuck? There he is.
What's Jim watching over there? Something dirty.
He's crazy.
He threw his phone down rather quickly.
No, I'll show you, but I just didn't want the sound bleeding through.
I don't want to see it. Some cornhole action. John?
We're going to wrap, by the way, tonight with some good conspiracy theory stuff.
John?
We're going to finish it with conspiracy theory?
Yeah, I figure if you're going to go full tinfoil hat, wait till the end.
John?
Well, all right. We got one more beer to try and all kinds of conspiracy theory talks with Jim Sharky when we come back.
Even beer cans are celebrating transgenderism. Bud Light has just released a commemorative can. His name is Dylan Mulvaney.
Oh, yeah.
It's Beer Man Bear. And Jim Sharky's here.
And we killed a cannonball.
We killed a cannonball.
Apparently Tucker Carlson making a brief appearance there.
Oh, why not?
Vice President? What do you think?
No, for Tucker, I don't know. You know, I thought for sure it would be Vivek, and honestly, if
He's a traitor.
If he wants to really drop the hammer, man, you get RFK Jr. in there, and people will explode. I'm going to get straight to my conspiracy theory though, because I'm saying it right now. I've been saying it for the last 6 months. There is not going to be an election in November. You can take that to the bank.
Really?
Well,
Wow.
based on what I understand, so come May, Biden's going to drop out, and Michelle Obama will be the candidate, or what's his name? Gavin
Newsom?
Newsom is going to be the candidate.
Mr. French Laundry, rules for thee, not for me.
So
that
it's
Gavin?
going to be one of the two
Oui.
that are going to run besides Biden.
How about that?
And so go ahead.
No.
Well, I was
Go
going to
ahead.
say on your bingo card, and you might say, okay, Jim, well, why isn't there going to be an election? And I think on my bingo card, I have any number that could be the case. A, they put the bad orange man in jail. I'm one of these and listen, I'm not a Trump
what?
guy, but if you don't
they're
see
not gonna do it.
if you don't see
They
these cases,
can't get it.
are so they're trying though. They're making some inroads, so be
Yeah,
careful
but-
on that.
Yeah, but you know what? They tried so hard.
Right.
And you know what? I'm not a really big Trumper, but when it comes to fixing this country, he might be the answer.
I mean, I hate it, lesser of two evils. Like my
You're right,
80-year-old
you're
is
right.
better than your 80-year-old. I guess
Yeah.
is what it comes down to.
But the thing is, we're not looking at someone going up on stage becoming a Roomba.
But yes, thank you, Shane Gillis. But if you believe that E. Jean Carroll story that he just had to pay
That
83
is nonsense because, I mean, let's be honest. Clinton didn't pay a thing. So now Trump has to?
But the fact of the matter is she can't remember the date. She's saying she wore a dress that wasn't even available. There's one more. Oh, her entire story is based on an episode of Law and Order CSV, like to the letter.
You just hit it. That is an episode of Law and Order. So she goes on to MSNBC, and she's like, I'm going to buy you this, I'm going to buy you that, we're going to have a party. So if somebody had been raped, do you really think they would be proud and loud and saying what they're going to buy going forward?
You'd have to ask Vince McMahon.
Sure. Oh, he's chomping at the bit to talk about Vince.
Oh, man.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, but the thing is, if someone was raped many years ago, do you think they would go on any television program happy and proud and telling the
Well, she's a nut to begin with.
Well, I understand that because
But do you understand that the state of New York literally changed their statute of limitations law to allow that case to proceed? Specifically, like you can hate Trump all you want; he's a fucking idiot. But if you can't,
he's
see
an idiot with a lot of money.
no matter the case,
Hey,
if
whatever.
you can't see that there's a concerted, overzealous attempt to get this guy on whatever fucking bullshit charge, listen, every business overstates their
They're trying
value.
so hard to get him on every charge, and it's not going to happen.
Yeah, well, again, I don't think there's going to be an election. That's one possibility. They get Trump. Another possibility, we're in war. You know, Biden manages to drag us into World War III.
Oh, Civil War, absolutely.
He's doing Civil War.
I will not.
Another possibility, if we have some sort of a solar event like an EMF that knocks the power grid out, or if the power grid gets hacked, or if disease X starts to wreak havoc just around
if
election
the power
time.
grid gets hacked, what's going to happen to all the Teslas?
Yeah, well, listen, it's only going to take 48 hours. If we lose power for a sustained period of time, you are going to see chaos and bedlam like you can't even
Like
imagine.
Black Lives Matter?
Listen, I'm not going to go there. But yeah, I mean, listen, these are all orchestrated events. I mean, even the protest here's the problem. I'm going to solve the world's problem for you right fucking now, is that every
I'm gonna
issue.
too.
Sure.
beer, man.
I believe Homer Simpson said alcohol, the cause of and cure of all of life's problems. But the reality is that every single thing in this world, whether it's abortion, Mideast crisis, everything is divisible by two, Keg. You hear what I'm saying?
I'm looking at this beer. Sorry.
It does look, it's a good looking stout. Everything is divisible by two. You know, was October 7th a heinous act? Of course. But if you can't objectively look and say, maybe Israeli intelligence might have maybe even turned a blind eye and watched that shit happen for the further, their objectives, which seems to be to just level Gaza to the ground, because they seem to be doing a pretty good job every time I turn on the news.
As it should be.
Sure, of course, they turned a blind eye. Hamas did a lot of heinous shit, and that's my point. There's bad, evil people on both sides of every issue.
Palestine could have completely stopped all of this, but Hamas infiltrated Palestine, and that is a really big problem.
But again, if you think Israel was just napping on the job and
Not even
somehow Hamas managed to pour in for hours, do you know like so many of the people who died on October 7th were the result of Israeli Hellfire missiles because they just went in there fucking guns blazing?
They claim that this is worse than the Holocaust.
Watch Michael Rappaport if you want to see somebody who's completely unhinged on Instagram. If you know the actor Michael Rappaport. I mean, because
he's nuts.
Yeah, we should get. I'm sorry, I could.
No. I was thirsty. That's
you know what? I don't like him. I despise him.
Oh, well, if you really want to hate him, watch what he's up to on his Instagram feed.
I don't like him because he's a left-wing nutcase.
And, the reality is, people dismiss, okay, Pizzagate. There's no Pizzagate. But are there some, like,
Hold on,
really?
Pizzagate?
Keg believes in Pizzagate.
Totally believe there's Pizzagate.
See, here's the thing. The problem with that is and why people marginalize and dismiss you.
And this whole Hollywood thing,
yeah.
There's a lot to it that people are so glamorized by what is going on in
Right,
Hollywood.
but they're going to mock you and say, oh, Hillary Clinton is eating babies' faces. Well, no, not necessarily. But is there some heinous pedophile types out there in Hollywood and politics? You better fucking believe it.
And Ellen DeGeneres? Absolutely.
All right, you're taking me down all sorts of rabbit holes.
Come on,
let's go
man.
to the rabbit hole.
Ellen DeGeneres. So let's talk about the Las Vegas shooting where Stephen Paddock, I believe was his name, supposedly single-handedly shot and killed all those people.
Where Jason Aldean had done his concert.
Right. If I find it interesting that who was the guy? Jorge Campos was, I think, the security guard who supposedly shot Stephen Paddock. And the only interview he ever did was on the Ellen DeGeneres, because I get all my news from Ellen DeGeneres. I don't know about you guys.
Who doesn't?
And he got up there and gave some bullshit story, and it just went away. It disappeared. All I'm saying is, kids, if you want to go down a nice conspiracy rabbit hole, look up the Las Vegas shooting. If you honestly think that this Paddock guy shot everyone up, you probably also believe that 18 or however many terrorists and box cutters perpetrated 9/11. Speaking of turning a blind
Taste
eye.
a little bit of that stout while you're out.
Yeah, sure. Angie loves a good stout.
Who doesn't?
But enough about my penis.
Oh, sure, boing.
Oh, my goodness.
I like this.
This is actually very delicious. You were right, Keg Kettles. Does have some horsepower, though, right?
Yeah, we're coming in at 12%. So, the great thing about this can, and I look at this can, I'm like, this will give you every bit of information that you really need to know about what you're drinking. So it tells you the type of glass you need to pour it into. It tells you that the temperature you got to drink it at. And then it goes into the type of cheese that you need to eat while you're drinking this.
From under?
No, blue.
Hey, Jimmy, give me a cheese with nothing.
So
Blue cheese. He needed the money. Oh.
So a nice creamy blue cheese.
Wow.
And that's something that we got to get into.
We got to get into some cheese.
Some cheese pairing.
Cheese. This is delicious.
Are you cold?
No, I'm just kind of.
What is with you?
I feel like we're going to wrap up
You're
soon.
you're like a crack Chappelle over here.
This is delicious. This is really good.
So we're going to come in with some chocolate and roasted malts. That dominate this. That dominate the flavor, supported by notes of dark fruits. You know what? When it comes to dark fruits, I think of like dark chocolate and cherry.
Yeah.
That's what really comes through.
Johnny, you said dark fruits, and Johnny elbowed me and said enough about Jesse Smollett. And I said, no, that's too much, Johnny.
Oh, Jesus.
See how I put that on you, Johnny?
That was perfect.
All right. I'm out.
But enough about
Hold
Diddy.
on.
Hey.
Hold on. This is amazing beer. Jim, I don't want you to leave without burying Vince McMahon a little bit.
Oh, I almost interviewed.
I can't believe you fucking stepped on me in the fucking beer review.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. It was good beer.
No.
Let him finish.
That's fucked up.
Let him finish.
He comes into our fucking podcast,
Yeah.
and he fucking steps on me when it comes to the fucking beer review. That's fucked up.
Sorry.
That's fucked up.
Well, if he didn't, we'd be here till Tuesday.
I feel shame.
Well, no. He was pressing us to get this thing over because he had to drive fucking an hour.
He does have to drive an hour.
And now he's breaking my balls?
I apologize.
That's fucked
He's a
up.
perpetual ball breaker. He's a professional ball breaker. He's a comedian, you know? I mean, look at that. Now, Jim, you made Jim sad.
Sharky, it rhymes with snarky. Am I right, fellas?
It's good beer. Fuck it.
It is pretty good.
All right, where are we at?
I fell off the wagon just to drink this stout.
I appreciate you falling off the wagon. You came all the way from New York, fell off the wagon.
Hold on. Whose show is this?
I don't remember.
This is our show.
Oh, okay.
And you're fucking give him the mic?
It's Jim Sharky,
It's
man.
got really uncomfortable.
I know.
Can I drink this beer?
Please do. Please do. Drink it all. Chug, chug.
All right, carry on.
All right. So, what we're talking, Vince McMahon. Yeah, he's in the news, right?
So I almost interviewed for a position at the WWE as IT, basically executive support. So I would have been working for Vince.
You would have been way more qualified
So
than the one.
I too might have had a sex. By the way, Johnny mentioned we were texting on a Saturday about the Vince McMahon thing. I literally sat there and read the 67-page court document in its entirety, and boy, that Vince is a real frisky bugger.
Oh, boy.
I mean, naming sex toys after your wrestlers and pretending to be them as you forcibly do heinous things with that poor young lady who, listen, I don't know. It went on for a long time. It begs the question, maybe she should have blown the whistle a little sooner. Maybe it was the BMW. Maybe it was the thousands of dollars.
What
the
I think
Nordstrom
it was
gifts.
the non-disclosure. She was supposed to get $3 million.
Right, and he only gave her one.
Gave her one, so that's why she blew the whistle.
All right, fair enough. So I guess everything would have been hunky-dory,
It's
but
all-
for that $2 million.
Moral of the story, pay your bills.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
But, yeah.
Good beer, though,
that's
by the way.
Good beer, good beer.
Keg, since we dabbled in conspiracy and the like, are you up to speed with a lot of the UAPs, which I guess were UFOs up until a couple of years ago? Now we call them UAPs.
No.
No? All right.
It's like, all right, so back in the day, when I think of like what he just said, I'm like, DWIs. That changed as well.
Oh, DUI. Oh, are you getting into some like Mandela effect stuff now?
No.
Because the fruit of the loom always had a fucking cornucopia. Let's just put that out there the fuck right now.
No, so when it comes to like abbreviations and shit like that, it's always changing. So going back to what Sharky was saying, so DUEs or what's it called now? Instead of like UFO, it's called
UAP.
UAP. So
Unidentified aerial phenomenon.
yeah, so I mean everything, everything changes over time, and I understand that, but I'm trying to keep up with it.
I think in 4 years, when I finally come back on this show, because it seems to be I go 4 years between
Oh, no,
spots,
we got to have you on more often.
I think you guys are both going to be in a
You
draft.
know what, Jim?
No,
I like Jim.
No, 4 years is good. 4 years is fine.
Fine. You'll probably both be chicks by then.
Whoa,
identifying
hold
as
on.
young ladies.
Well, I
Let's
think
talk
you'll
about
be
your
a chick.
podcast. You had a great podcast. You interviewed all kinds of celebrities, and then you stopped. Why you stopped?
John Davidson.
Well, I did move. I moved from Connecticut to New York, and Sean and I, Sean the producer, of course, we like to do it in person. And for Sean to have to drive up to New York, it was just untenable. I maintain we'll return in some form or
I
fashion.
agree. I think our show works better when the person is sitting
Yeah,
with us, drinking the
absolutely.
beer with us. And that makes the We've had Zoom shows and interviews from people far
Yeah,
away.
they suck.
Ah,
Yeah, you don't get immediate response and
yeah,
reaction.
and we don't all get to taste
It's
the same beer.
very hard to edit.
Yeah,
Sure, that too.
That's it. It's very hard to edit.
not Jim though. Jim edited his show right after. It was
I would,
recorded, right?
I would, Keg, because you do a lot of the production, but I would pretty much edit the show the night of. That show, by the way, you can go to jimsharky.com, SHARKY.
So the whole library is still up.
Yeah, and it's funny because I wrestle with, when do I take it down? I mean, listen, I'm paying.
Well, both Keg Kettles and myself have appeared on the show many times.
Absolutely, yeah. Johnny, you were on at least 3 or 4 times.
Yeah,
I was
Keg
on a
once.
call-in.
Yeah, he
I
was.
was on a
Keg did a
call-in.
call-in. Yeah.
Yeah, good show. We did some fun stuff. I did a show with a couple shows with Kurt Schilling, 3-time, and people hate Kurt Schilling, by the way. So it's like I say that, but
He's
I have
a great guy.
He's very right leaning.
He's a champ in my heart, man.
If
Absolutely.
you see what Kurt's up to on Twitter,
Who do you play for? The
Red Sox, Arizona Diamondbacks.
Diamondbacks.
Won I think 3-time World Series champ.
Yeah.
World Series MVP when he played for the Diamondbacks.
Diamondbacks, one with the
but he likes
Red Sox.
Trump and he mean tweets, so of course he'll never get in the Baseball Hall of Fame because of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah,
bullshit.
you're
is
right.
Pete
You're
Rose in or no?
Of course not. He gambled.
He
That
gambled.
bastard.
And I maintain that's bullshit
You know
too.
what's funny though? Pete Rose in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Is he?
He is.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
He also managed the Bridgeport Bluefish for a day.
Ah, good for Pete, man.
Minor league Connecticut baseball team that's no longer in existence.
Now it's a concert hall.
Yeah, it's not a great hall, by the way. I've been to shows.
It's an expensive hall.
Oh my God, there's like $40 drinks.
Dude, you got a freaking.
I'm not
I don't
kidding,
know.
by the way. Like $35
You got to
mixed
take out a
drinks.
loan. You got to take out a loan to go there.
We went to see Billy Strings perform. There was a woman in front
Really?
of us.
Billy
Yeah,
Strings?
he was
Wow.
great. There was a woman in front of us that
You're all about the jam band, huh?
I do like jam bands. I saw Fish New Year's. So $35 drink, this woman brings it, and the woman next to her inadvertently like brushed her coat against it and half the drink.
Oh,
and I'd be
no.
like, I would get down and start sucking on the floor
I would snort lines
for a
doing
35
that.
drink.
What the heck?
Oy.
Yeah, a beer is $20.
Yeah. But the problem with that particular venue, it's an outdoor venue. It's there's too much wind. The audio is not the great. It's a cool venue.
And then you got a train that goes by.
Yeah. By the way, you're kind of speaking of jam bands. You're kind of a Dead guy, right?
Oh,
Grateful
look
Dead?
at the tattoos, man.
So did you hear the news that Dead and Company is actually going to get
Vegas,
back
man.
together?
I heard that.
They're doing Vegas.
They're going to do
Yeah.
shows at the Sphere.
The Sphere, man.
Well,
Sphere.
they have the
Sphere, man, Sphere. How about that?
they have the wrist.
Five.
I like. We're drunk. Okay.
Yeah, they have the residency over in Vegas. Yeah. All right.
By the way, when I come back 4 years, you guys are wearing dresses. You know what the show is going to be? Queer man.
No,
Queer.
hell no, no, no.
Well, Johnny,
no.
maybe. But
Oh, you bastard. Anyway, who was the you feel is the biggest star you interviewed on your podcast?
Specifically on the podcast?
John Davison.
No, I would have to say it was Kurt Schilling. I mean, in terms of notoriety and accomplishments. I mean, but we also interviewed a lot of more obscure people, like a guy named Ralph Wigington, who is known for having the largest pornographic collection. Those are the guests that really I cherish. Guys like Brian Dunkelman from American Idol.
that's a big star right there.
Yeah, he was good. He had a lot of sour grapes. So a lot of comedians, Nick DiPaolo.
My favorite interview you
Nick
did.
DiPaolo, man.
DiPaolo.
He's
man.
a joy.
Yeah, me and Keg went and watched him. We,
Oh, he's a funny guy.
That was a birthday gift, man.
yep.
He's another one of these comics who, because he's kind of right-leaning politically, will never get
right-leaning?
He'll never get the push.
Right-leaning.
Well, you know what I mean.
My favorite interview you did was with the girl who went to court over the
Xanthi Pajarillo.
She went to court over the
McRib.
The McRib. That's it. She fought so that her family would have McRib on Thanksgiving.
She went to like a Santa Monica City Hall meeting, lamenting the fact that McDonald's suspended the McRib as she
called it McRib. Right?
Hold on Thanksgiving.
Well, that's what they did. Thanksgiving, they had the McRib they ordered 12 McRibs, and that's how they celebrated Thanksgiving.
Yep.
What?
And then the one year they discontinued it, she went to court.
True story.
But she was a sweetheart, man. She was a
She's
great
still out
interview.
there. She's a big horror film. I think she's into like directing and producing horror films.
Can we get
now.
her on Beer Man Beer?
Oh
No.
God, yeah, you can do that.
No, okay, come on. We got to get someone on.
No.
Dude, if you've never had a McRib with a stout, I mean, the pairing is phenomenal.
All right, we're on to something.
Hold on. Johnny was big into the McRib. I was never into it.
You don't like the McRib, but you don't like pork? What, are you Jewish?
No. That's horse meat, man.
You've been mistaken for a Jewish before.
No,
I
stop
think
it.
Lisa Lampanelli called you a Jew from the stage one time.
Yeah, well, that was a whole
Probably
gimmick.
because you had a beer.
Hold on. That was a gimmick. I know many times she called me a Jew, and that's fine.
You're the represent Jew.
I'm a Scot, but that's fine. But the thing is, you were always about the McRib.
I love the McRib. Yeah.
You were always about the McRib.
Still am. If I could have one right now, I'd
You know
inhale
what?
it.
I've never had a McRib.
I'd snort a McRib.
I've never had a McRib, and I really don't care to have one.
What?
All
All right, what's your fast food of choice? What would you, if you had a fast food? I know you don't like fast food. If you did,
Oh man, the pressure. All right, so I would have a McDonald's double quarter pounder, only cheese, and fries.
Do you know they're now selling double Big Macs?
Oh,
What?
Yeah.
That's too much Big Mac.
So that's a lot of bread.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
A
bread.
lot of lettuce, too, and a lot of fucking
Yeah.
Thousand Island dressing.
Is that what the sauce is?
It's like a mixture of mayonnaise or, I don't know, what is it?
So when I talked about my mother working like a Jamaican, one of her other jobs, she worked at McDonald's, and I kid you not, every day I would call my mother on her way home and just give an order, and I would eat almost on a daily basis Big Mac, large fry, cheeseburger.
All right.
And you wonder why I'm a pudgy motherfucker.
Your mother's still with us, right?
But you're not.
She is.
All right, can we get her on the show?
My mother, she lives right down the road. Yeah, sure.
Oh, she'd be great. No, God bless Sharky's mom. She rode the short bus and made Big Macs and put up with Jim.
And you know what else? She loves anal, which is interesting too.
That's weird. You made things weird. Cannonball.
Hey. All right, we're done. We're out.
All right, I tell you what, Jim. Where can anybody find you if they're looking for you?
You can't. No, I mean Instagram. I mean that's really my jam.
Instagram.
And one of these days I'm going to start doing some stuff live with Sean. So it's at Jim Sharky, and all the socials. You can get me. It's SHARKY, by the way. People love to put the E in there, but just think KY, and I will lube up your comedy. Jones.
I believe I've been the douchebag that put the E in there.
Yeah, you
well.
are. By the way, I was taking the high road there. He always
did
spells my
I do
name with
that?
an E. Yeah, you do.
Not me.
I'm awful, man. I don't spell well at all.
I love you, Johnny.
I appreciate that, and thank you for making this fun as always, man. It's always a blast when Sharky comes on. Keg Kettles, where can people see you?
Out and about.
Out and about. Oh, you know where they can see us? We're going to be at the Static X and Seven Dust concert.
Oh, yes.
See, now Wayne Static is dead. I mean, wasn't he Static X basically? Now it's the guy from Dope, I believe.
All right, but let's go down the Quiet Riot rope.
Okay, sure.
So Quiet Riot is nothing, but the one last remaining member.
Is that Rudy Sarzo?
No.
Oh, he's gone too?
I don't know. But Quiet Riot, amongst all the dead, has been resurrected. I can't tell you how, but I know they are.
They're literally rolling out the corpse of Kevin Dubrow.
Wow.
That's right. I went Kevin Dubrow on you.
Wow.
All that and Frank Benali.
Yep. Wow. Hey, what's the last concert you guys all saw? Just to kind of, keep
together.
No, not necessarily together. Last concert you saw, and go. I'll go first. Fish at the Garden.
Well, that's a shocker.
That's gay. No,
were we at a show recently, or no? It's been a while, right?
It's only gay if you push back.
Man,
I can't remember. I know we're going to be at Seven Dust.
Oh wait, hold on.
You guys love Seven Dust, huh?
We do. Look at the picture on the wall.
I see it.
Right here in the
photo.
studio. A signed picture. We have a picture with them, too.
And behind me, too. What show did we see last?
I mean, it wasn't meant to be a trick question.
I don't know.
Think while you drink.
We drank all the beer. Oh. Fuck, we're sorry. Next week, we'll tell you. We'll tell you where we were last.
Oh, my goodness.
I'll tell you where you can find me. March the 2nd at Randall's will be my 50th birthday party.
Yeah, but it's not until the 4th.
Well, we're not going to have a comedy show on
what
Monday.
Day?
March 2nd.
Now, if I dropped in on March 2nd, don't you think you should give me a guest
You're
spot?
damn straight.
Yeah.
You're damn right. You going to come in?
I
you
might
come in, you're going on stage.
March 2nd? Let me put that in my calendar.
At Randall's.
At Randall's?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's a Saturday, of
course.
course.
It's a Saturday. You coming through?
I'll bring Angie.
Bring Angie. All right, I'll put Jim Sharky on stage. You'll also see Bree Lopez.
Oh, my goodness.
Regular on the Beer Man Beer Show. You will also see
Come on, shorten it up. Come on.
Derek Carafa. You will see Gary Cuckoops, Alexis.
Oh!
Show will be hosted by Davey Lozano. And headlining that night will be the great Christy Miller.
I'm in.
Wow.
It's going to be a wild show, so check that out at Randall's. Tickets available on concomedy.com. Thank you all for listening. Thank you, Jim, for always being the best.
Thanks for having me.
And Keg Kettles and myself will see you next week on Beer Man Beer.
As always.
And that's what I say, yeah. And that's what I say, my baby loves me. She gets me feeling so fine, the way she loves me. She makes me know that she's mine. And when she kisses, I feel the fire.